Intro, let's go.
Intro. Hello and welcome. It always sounds so silly to me. Hello and welcome. Welcome to a episode of Thots. This is the worst intro ever. We're gonna redo this.
You know that it's gonna be gold when we go back and we're editing it and we
We're
watch
like-
it again.
Yeah, I didn't have any intro planned. I was just hoping someone would start bullshitting.
Oh. Okay.
Bitch.
Well, it's 28 degrees of a Libra rising here. Do you guys still have a
Ooh.
Scorpio rising?
Oh, we absolutely have a Scorpio rising.
Excellent.
Yep,
Thing.
11 degrees. Sun
Oh.
conjunct the midheaven
Beautiful.
on a Sunday.
Blaine was asking me earlier, he was like, so I don't know any astrology. How is this gonna
Yeah, I
work?
was nervous. I was like, I don't know anything. What do I
Neither
do?
do I.
Yeah,
I'm here
that's
for the ride.
what Austin said. So I guess that's where we can start. We have some guests on today's episode. I'm one of your co-hosts, Hannah, and I have my partner Austin here. Bev.
And this is my husband, Lane.
Howdy.
Austin, do you know your big three?
Do I? All right. I'm definitely a Scorpio.
Uh-huh.
Is there a Libra rising?
No.
No.
It's okay.
No,
you know
no,
there's a rising. That's good.
It's an Aries.
The
No,
other
it's,
one. Oh, you know this.
I know I do.
It's Aquarius.
Oh, that. Yeah.
You did really good, man.
And what's my moon?
Sagittarius.
That's right.
So yeah, Scorpio sun, Sag moon, Aquarius rising. Ruler is Saturn in your Pisces second house.
Yes. Apparently.
Lane, do you know your big three?
No, all I know
No, you know this.
it's I'm a Libra sun.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm a Libra sun. There's a Taurus in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Taurus rising.
Yes.
Okay. And then
It's the best
Cancer.
one.
Mhm.
Is it Cancer?
Yeah.
Is it Cancer? That was a complete guess. I had no idea. That was a literal shot in the
I said
dark.
it's
I
the
literally
best
was
one,
like,
and you picked
and the
up.
crab. Yo. That's literally all I thought. I was like,
Imagining
crab.
a Pokeball, like throwing the crab out. You're like, crab, go.
Crab, go. Oh, yeah.
The moon said, "You're mine, bitch."
Wait, doesn't the moon represent my mom?
Or it can, yeah.
Oh shit. I was kind of a mama's boy when I was young. Like I was really little. I didn't know this.
Sweet Cancer moon, baby.
Yeah. I like how I'm over here like, yes.
Yeah, because Hannah and I were talking about how you and her have more of the Venusian Cancerian type thing going, and
Mhm.
Austin and I have more of the Saturn
Wait.
Sag thing.
Is it
Mhm.
Venusian feminine?
Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be classified as
Okay, what about Cancerian? What does that denote? Like, what is a Cancerian thing?
Is that a
Ooh.
thing?
Yeah, well, Cancerian, yeah, that's how you would
Oh, it just sounds like
describe
a
it. It's
made
very
up word.
ethereal. I mean, all words are made up, bro.
Oh, it's true. Touche.
Cancerian. I mean, so I'm a Cancer sun,
Okay.
and I have a Cancer Mercury and Venus too. It's very it holds a lot of space. It's very
Okay.
protective, very, very intuitive, very in tune with emotions, but like doesn't necessarily share that with everyone. Like a Cancer gets a lot of bad rap as being like the crybaby. I think Cancers use their emotions like not in a bad way. This will sound in a bad way, but like as a weapon almost. It's almost like a superpower, and they know how to use it. They have to get in tune with that a bit, but I feel like the crybabies are Pisces, and they will not fight me on that. Yeah. So that's how I would describe the Cancer experience. It's very like it's a Cancer. It's represented by the crab, so it's got like the shell and the pinchers. That's
Yeah,
not much of a
right.
crybaby to me. That sounds like a badass.
Yeah.
Okay.
His dad is a Cancer sun.
Mm,
That's why dad's so tough. Like he's such a hard ass all the time.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. He also has that Taurus Mars though.
What does that mean?
Uh,
Oh wait, hold on, wait. Before you,
hold on.
before you
We're like-
answer,
Spill the beans. Like
am I about to open a whole can of astrological whoop ass where we like spiral?
oh yeah.
Kinda.
All right,
Do you want to back up?
I'll reel
it
those
back?
questions back and
Okay.
and I'll assume that what you're saying is like that I kind of know.
Okay.
Okay. Word.
Okay.
Cool.
Do we
Wait,
want
quick
to just
question.
throw their charts
Are
up?
Pisces
to get that
March?
going?
Are Pisces in March?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. So from the end of February into the middle of March is
Okay.
Pisces, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, when in February?
Around
It's
the
like after
22nd.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, so interesting.
Yeah.
No, you just like I just remember so many birthdays.
Uh-huh.
And then
Oh yeah.
I just don't get along with people in Pisces, like at all. There's
That's
so
funny.
much tension all the time.
That's interesting. I mean, because you're an Aquarius rising and you have your Saturn in Pisces in your second house. So it's like you're like you are very in tune with Pisces energy, but
Yeah.
you're very strict. You're
Yeah, no,
very
I
like, no,
totally
there's a
am,
way to do
But
this.
it's so
And
specific.
those people,
I know.
no, Pisces suns are like very, or other Pisces placements. Pisces is a very movable, like, how do you
Okay.
describe, how do you even encapsulate
water
Pisces
sign.
energy? It's very like, yeah, it is a water sign.
It's a water sign.
Yeah. And Aquarius, even though it has aqua in it, is a freaking air sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. All right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But what I
totally see
like,
that.
yeah,
That's
Aquarius,
Aries too. I'm like a little iffy with.
Aries.
No, like-
Well, we both have moms with Aries
Oh, I know.
moons,
So I just like know how it is.
there's that.
But it's like you can literally just like pick who you're gonna get along with just based on their birthday, and I think that's kind of
You
to a
can.
point. But
Yeah. You can at least maybe not pick who you're gonna get along with, but pick who,
like
I
character.
mean, you're
well, it's
gonna like,
characteristics in a way.
there's definitely characteristics, but you can definitely pick who, like, not pick, but suss out who you might have a more immediate flowing relationship. And that can
True.
be seen by like air signs would typically get along better more quickly with other air signs or fire signs because they have those sextile and opposition relationships where they have those kind of more flowing things.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then the trine relationships too, whereas the the earth and water signs are a little bit more of a challenge.
Mm.
But I mean, I think that's what's one thing that's interesting about our relationship, which is kind of what this episode's about, digging into our different axes and our how all of our astrology goes together. But you're an Aquarius rising and I'm a Taurus rising, so you're an air rising and I'm a earth rising, and those are pretty opposites, like,
Yeah.
but they're both fixed signs. So even though we do things in a very different way, we have the same general method of doing those things. Like we're pretty like slow and methodical and not quick to change. Like we can make a quick snappy decision
Yeah.
from time to time, but as people in general, we're pretty steady
Mhm.
rather than all over zigzaggy. Would you agree?
Totally.
Yeah. So that's kind of,
Learning so much.
yeah.
I think we like to describe ourselves as the hermits, and that's so fun. And I feel like a lot of that comes from our moons being on our ICs, and so we're just like, yeah, why would we leave Fort Phillips?
Pretty sweet place. Pretty sweet, not gonna lie.
We're planning to like make a home gym out of a garage if
Oh,
we
absolutely.
get a house, and then we literally won't have to leave if we don't want to.
Ever.
Stop it.
I would love a home gym,
I would
especially like a
too.
basketball court.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the dream. There it
Yeah,
is.
you and Faith would love that. That would be awesome.
Oh, I'd be wild. Break every bone in my body.
Oh my God. Yeah, the IC thing. So the IC is like, so we're talking about our risings, which is like where the horizon like was. This is gonna be a terrible description. Do not take this one to the bank, folks. No. But overall,
You're
the
great.
rising side, we know what that is. It's the
It's the
ascendant.
horizon line,
Thank you.
and then the descendant is where the sun is gonna set that day.
Mhm. Yeah, right at the time that you were born. But the IC and the MC is like the highest point in the sky, and the IC is the lowest. So in astrology, the IC represents like your roots, what feels like home, what feels like safety, what feels like roots. So it has your ancestry and family and stuff there too. So having your guys' moons on your IC is like, your moon is your sense of safety again, like what makes you feel emotionally safe, what makes you feel secure, what you need to nurture yourself. So having that on the place where you need to feel most rooted and safe, it's like, yes, just leave me
And-
cocooned here forever.
Yeah.
And Lane's moon is also domicile and mine's exalted, so
Mm,
it even has that layer of dignity to it. So
yes.
it's just like all of the moon things, yes, all of the time.
All of the Fort Phillips forever.
Yep. That's for every man. We're also big into meal prepping, which I think is interesting because we
Ooh.
cannot be without food. Like we
God, it's like
it's like 4 square meals a day, man, you know.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying again, Fort Phillips locked down. We're not leaving. It's like gates closed, dude.
That's my vibe. I'm that Taurus moon, Taurus rising, but you've got that Sag moon, so you're a little bit more like, let's go do shit. No
Yeah.
plans, let's go. And I'm
Let's just
like,
do it. Yeah.
hold on, hold on.
You need to mentally prepare to go away. Like
I need to mentally prepare to do anything.
Yeah, I'm like, you just want to go to a show tonight?
And I'm like,
Sure. What?
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
I
like,
do.
we need food. We need to go. What car are we using? And I'm like,
That's me.
let's just roll. Let's get the essentials and go.
Yeah.
no.
But the good thing is he's a Saturn ruled rising. So he still has like the grounded, like methodical way of doing things. So when I start getting methodical, he can roll with it, which is nice.
Lane
But-
kind of gives me a minute. He lets me go on my little planning tangents for probably about 30 minutes. And then he just sighs really big. And then it's like, okay, time to stop.
Is it like it will consume the better part of the day? Like when it happens, I'm like, bud, let's just reel her in here. Okay?
Let's reel her in, bud.
Like I love where your head's at, but I want to do other shit today other than talk like this. I'd like to, get back to doing something else. So let's just, pause it for now.
Oh my God. That's so funny. That feels like,
I get that. Though.
yeah, that makes me think of their Libra Mercuries because both
Yeah.
of them have a Libra Mercury. Lane also has a Libra Sun and stuff, but that's like your communication style.
Mhm.
I never like thought about Libra in Mercury in Libra before like that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
All I knew was like Bill Clinton, and I was like, okay, silver tongue devil. That's
Yeah.
dang, are you working with Bill?
yeah, he's a Libra Mercury.
Yeah, he sure is. Slick with their words.
He's
Only
from
lets you see as
Arkansas,
much as they
too.
want you to.
Say what?
Sorry.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was a good orator. He
Yeah.
put a speech out there.
Lane, you
Yeah.
really made up a whole artist, and then you pitched it to your speech class, and they believed you.
Yeah.
That's silver tongue.
I made it on the day of the speech. I was like, I didn't prep anything. And she was like, you have to give a speech. And I was like, here we go. I just threw it out there.
No.
And she was like, I had no idea Fromm did that kind of work. And I was like, yep. And then I walked off.
No,
And like,
tell the whole story.
so class was over. And I was like, hey, before everyone leaves, I want to let you guys know every part of that was BS. Like, none of that was for real. Like, that wasn't an actual thing. Do not talk about this. Like, that's not a real human. That human does not exist. And my teacher was like in tears. She was so angry. She was like, I believed you. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I didn't, my bad.
Oh my God.
How did you sell that so convincingly? And I was like, I don't know, man. So yeah, that was a bad one. She got really pissed at me. She was like, that's not cool. Don't do that. And I was like, my bad.
Don't do that. Why not?
Still
It
getting
was
A's.
great.
I mean, I aced the speech. Yo, was
Exactly. That was the
Rude.
assignment. Did they
but
say it had to
the
be
whole,
real?
like, what?
Did they say it had to be a real person? Was that part of the
I think that was
assignment?
kind of the academic, integrity kind of
Yeah,
thing. We're
well,
assuming that what you're telling this group of
everything is creative writing. I don't know.
30-person, class, like you're gonna tell them the truth. You're not just gonna claim lie. I lied.
Eh.
You're just so gifted though with your
Hey man,
convincing.
Storytellers.
Yeah.
What's your
Sorry.
favorite thing to do?
Storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I mean, that was like the first time I ever talked to you guys, was just me telling stories.
Yeah.
Mhm.
100%.
I feel that. That's edible.
Be the wise old mystic of the tribe.
Trying to think. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense for Mercury and Libra. And then for both of them, Mercury and Libra is ruled by Venus and Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
What is,
Venus and Scorpio.
what's that?
The fact that you guys like to bite us.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Cool. Lead with yeah. You gotta give us examples.
Yeah.
Once you give us like examples, it's like oh gotcha. Like
It's so hard sometimes. But I don't know. Venus and Scorpio is very like intense. Like it probably won't necessarily explicitly tell you about how it feels.
Mhm. It's like the obsessive type of love is kind
Sometimes,
of like,
yeah.
Oh no.
But not in a bad way. It's just like you love
No,
something so much that it physically hurts you that you
and you
love
don't
it.
want to talk. You don't know how to. Yeah.
Yeah.
damn man.
Like you're 100% in.
Is that like
and-
cute aggression, but like
Yeah.
It can be.
yeah, because like,
I feel like Venus
that
and
way-
Cancer is cute aggression.
I feel that way when I see Mishka. He's like, I want to squeeze you.
I feel that too about Ralph. Oh, and he hates me so much.
But
Maybe it's a Cancer thing. I
But-
don't know.
Yeah, it's a
Mishka
Cancer
hates me.
thing.
So I can't do it. She just runs away from me. But maybe that makes me want to do it more.
It does. Because I'm very like, give her space. She's a consenting being. Like, if she doesn't want it, she doesn't want it, man.
But she's so.
Oh, that's feel around. That's why he probably likes me more.
This
We
how
just
we
get
get
each other. We
like
just look
that.
across the room. We're like, yeah, what's up?
And
man?"
I just want to
So,
bury
you
my
hungry?
face in his
Sure.
belly, be like, I love you, and he hates me.
Oh yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
no, back off.
But then he always wakes me up in the morning. We have a whole routine.
Routine.
He's a Virgo, so it's very important to him that he has his daily routine
He's a
met
drama
to the
queen.
letter. Oh,
He's
he's an
so
absolute
dramatic.
drama queen.
So dramatic. He'll just start swatting you and just
For no
bite ya.
reason. Oh,
He's
yeah.
hungry. He's like, give me the food now.
Yeah.
And just will just scream louder and louder and
Yeah.
louder.
If he's awake and he's yelling
Oh.
at all times.
There we go. There we go.
That's
Brutal.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Mishka
He
likes
hurts my
to-
brain.
Mish goes through this really creepy thing at night where she'll like yowl into the abyss to get in bed because she's sad that she's now the only thing awake, right?
Oh
But
my God.
learn how to say mama, so it just
Yeah.
sounds like she's saying like mama in the hallway
At the
like,
opposite end of
screaming.
the dark apartment.
It's
And
so
it's like
creepy.
the dead of night. Like I'm laying there asleep and all I hear is mama. And I'm like, I'm like sitting straight up in the bed. And Anna's like, what the hell was that? I'm like,
No,
it
dude.
scared
Mm-mm.
the shoot out of me,
Well, I was
dude.
like, shit, we got some spirits in here.
It was
They're
2 in the morning.
ready to play,
It was-
man.
yeah, because I rolled over and looked at my phone. I was like, Mishka, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, buddy. Like
Oh
I was
my
in a deep slumber. Don't do that.
Deep slumber.
It's not
no.
cool, man.
There's Mars and Gemini transit though.
Oh, I'm actually low-key excited. Like, am I nervous? Yes. Am I mostly excited though? Yes. So Mars, for our friends in the room, is, how do you describe the planet Mars, Anna? I'm curious.
I feel like Mars is one of the relating planets to me. So everything that it does is concerned with the interactions between humans and other things and like how you relate to the topics in which you're interacting with, right?
Mhm.
But I think that it tends to be kind of the more protective or actionable relationships, you know, where it's like severing is a really big word that comes up to me with Mars, or protection is another one that comes up. So it's like those hard interactions that you have to have with other people.
Yeah, almost like sometimes boundary setting can fall under Martian stuff. Movement for me, like I know Mercury kind of does denote movement, but like Mars to me feels like the actual force of action, like the friction, the muscles burning and moving to move you forward. So having Mars go through Gemini after being in Taurus, I think is gonna feel nice. I saw somebody on Twitter describe it as like after someone having their foot pressed up against the door and finally like breaking through and falling through. It's not very graceful, but it is a relief. God, I wish I knew who tweeted that because that was such a good metaphor. I might go through and try and find so I can credit it. But that is exactly how I think it'll feel. I think we're gonna break through into this like, I think it'll be weirdly creative and constructive, but it's gonna shake shit up. I think it's gonna be a 7-month long vibe. That's a long time.
That's a long freaking time.
That is a long time.
Well, I'm also just thinking about how it's going to interact with the US's chart, you know.
That exactly that, because that's in the Sibley chart 7th house, right?
Well, also just the historical background of Mars and Gemini is pretty
What else
Yeah.
happened with Mars and Gemini?
war.
Yeah,
I'm still drafted. Wait, didn't they take the draft bill down?
Did they?
let's hope.
I'm draftable. They could do it.
Fuck no.
I mean, like Uncle
They
Sam.
could.
I mean, like, if he said,
Yeah, Mars and Gemini is yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I think combined with the US's Pluto return getting another hit coming up.
Yup.
"Well, isn't that bad when that happens?"
So is it bad when it happens? Not necessarily bad, but I mean, so the Pluto return is how I've described it to you before, happens every about 240, 250 years. So only big things like countries will experience it. And that's also typically the amount of years after which an empire either falls or continues to stand.
Yeah.
So it's like a big
overall-
moment of transformation. Like, is the structures that you have set, is this thing actually going to move forward the way that it was intended to? Like, did you build the structures you needed or the support you needed to fuel your growth in that direction? And if not, then it's time to burn it down and start over.
Yep.
Like, wow.
So 2026 will be 250 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
also
Whoa.
it's
the Pluto return starts now.
yeah. So it's like already had
Wait, so
a
it
hit
takes
from
it
the
already
takes like
happened.
It had its first hit in February.
Yeah,
It has another hit
it's
coming
first
later this year. Yeah.
so we're already in
yeah,
it?
we're in it.
Yeah, we're in it now.
And when did it happen?
It
When did
started in February.
Yeah. This is what I was talking about in February, where I was like,
But important to note, so Pluto in the US's Sibley chart is in the sign of Capricorn. It's at 28 degrees, conjunct my Uranus. Isn't that fun? So I look at myself anyway, I'll go into it later. But so once Pluto entered Capricorn, it started the Pluto return. Even though it took a long time to build up to the exact spot where the return happened, which is what happened this past February, it's been building up since 2008. Isn't that an interesting year for the US's Pluto return to have begun?
That's
Did
not
the structures that we set work? No, they certainly most fucking did not.
That's so interesting.
So since 2008, there's been, think about how that was such a turning point for the economy, for politics. Like we had Obama come through, we had gay rights get established, and now we're kind of in this weird point where it's like we get another hit where now, like, starting in February is when all the Roe v. Wade shit started coming out, when all of the, and that's been just like a tumbling block. And now, like, Trump is being investigated for the Espionage Act, and he has appointed 3 of the Supreme Court justices that are like making these decisions. There's so much shit that is just like, it's just really challenging every foundation that this country has. So it's like, let's see how it goes. I don't know.
Here we go.
buckle up.
What a wild time to be alive. I say this all the time. Like, what?
It really does feel like a wild time to be alive, though.
Even astrologically speaking, like we're about to have Uranus in Gemini again. Like,
So does this happen for like every major generational change, or is this like unique?
This is a lot for us in relation to the US Sibley chart, I think,
Mhm.
right now.
Okay.
So I think that's why it's a little bit more prolific for us experiencing living in the US at this time, right? With all of those changes going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But every country experiences a Pluto return, yeah.
If it lasts 250 years, yeah.
Okay.
That's why I think it's referred to as like when empires, because typically it's, you have to be a bigger entity to last in that way for that long. But
yeah.
Okay. All right. So are there like astrological processes that happen like every 30-ish years?
yes,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
would be the Saturn return.
Yeah.
Okay.
He hears me talk about that a lot, surprise.
Okay, so that's like that's when you go through like your midlife crisis, like your second one.
Yes, your
Yeah.
second. Yeah, your second Saturn return would be your midlife crisis. My dad's going through that right now. He's 56, 57.
Also the Uranus transit.
The
happens
Uranus.
at that time as well.
Yeah.
So, wait, there's multiple?
Yeah, so there's, so the typical planets like the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, like those are the ones that move pretty quickly through the sky, and they have transits that happen pretty much every year. Bigger planets like Jupiter, Saturn, they have a little bit more of a longer cycle. I think Jupiter's is like 12 years it takes to go through all of the signs. And then Saturn is the one that takes 27 to 30 years to go through all of the signs. So that's the first planet that has like kind of these bigger like generational loops that you can kind of pinpoint.
Okay.
Then you have the 3 outer planets. So Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And they all move a lot more slowly. So like Uranus, the last time, why I was referencing Uranus and Gemini was because the last time Uranus was in Gemini was 1940. In that period during all of the wars. So those kinds of things. There's people, there was a really great documentary series. Oh my gosh, what was it called? Did you watch that, Anna? That was about the it was about the Uranus cycles and the Uranus Saturn cycles. I think it was Dr. Richard Tarnas who
No,
did
I
it.
didn't. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
I'm trying to remember what it was called. Something, The Changing of the Gods,
Yeah.
I think.
That's what it
Changing of the
was.
Gods documentary of this doctor who like studies astrology, and he tracked the cycle of Saturn and Uranus, because it's all very mathematical. Like there's a very specific year cycle where they have these alignments, and it happens every very specific amount of years. And they align with big world events like world wars, like the Roman Empire's fall. Stuff like that has very specific cycles that he's been able to track. And so he did this documentary tracking the Uranus cycles through the night. I don't know how far back he went. He went pretty far, but specifically tracking like the civil rights movement and then its reflection today, because we're going through like a return cycle thing. So yeah, that's the outer planets do that.
Okay.
So that interacts with your chart in a certain way every specific number of years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then that's why people have like these similar events at similar age points in life, is
Mhm.
because everybody's kind of experiencing that same type of thing at those specific years of age.
Yeah. So like the Saturn return between 27 and 30 is like, that's when you see a lot of people get married, get big career things, make big moves, maybe have some big like losses or something happen that like really changes the direction they're going. Big realizations, they suddenly like kind of grow up. They start acting a little, the big turning 30 is a thing, but it is a thing. And you start noticing a difference in people after that, because it's their Saturn return where they're being forced to face like lessons of responsibility and being a grown up and fucking taxes and death and shit. It's like it all gets real. Like
Yeah, life gets real. It's when you're considered an adult astrologically after
Yeah.
you do your Saturn return.
yeah.
So
So
you three are about to hit it.
we absolutely are, folks. March of 2023 is when we're
Yes,
yes,
you-
Mr. 1995. Mm-hmm.
And you and Hannah have it in the same house. So
In
you
the
guys will
11th house, my friend.
Yeah, you guys will have a very similar experience with your Saturn return.
So what does the 11th one mean?
The 11th house represents your like the community that supports you, like the big connections that you have connecting you to the world, and like your wishes
Mhm.
and ambitions. And having Saturn there can often feel like we were cut off from either a supportive community or cut off from what our dreams and wishes actually were, and we were forced to pursue something more practical. And so then this will be our challenge to be like, for me, so what I think our Saturn return is going to be about is
Okay.
accepting that we can be supported and we can do things that we want to do instead of what we think we have to do. And we can find a balance there, but you have to find the balance in order to make it work. So I think we're going to have the opportunity to put our big kid pants on and like step up in a cool way.
What?
So is that bad, or is it inherently bad or good, or is it just?
It's neither. No, it just is. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I think it's inherently good in my opinion. Saturn's a malefic, so it brings things that feel uncomfortable, but like the things that are most uncomfortable are the things that force you to change and grow. So
Yeah. It's
to
all
me,
about
that feels
growth.
inherently good.
Yeah, it's a lot of character development, I would say.
Yeah.
It just might not be like, it might be tough love character development.
Yeah. I think being seen will be a part of it too, like allowing ourselves to be seen.
If you have like context that you would like to share of how you that's kind of part of the process too.
Yeah. Oh,
It's just so fascinating.
Is it?
But like,
Am I making sense today?
no, you are, but it's like I literally feel those changes. So I can like, it's like all your dates were so specific, and I'm like, oh my god.
I know.
Because you said 2008 where it started, and I was like, well, that's when I got surgery. And I was like, and that's when the Phillies won the World Series. I'm like, that's when everyone was also like the recession basically was going on, I was like,
The crash.
how are you supposed to feel? And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so interesting. I was
It
like,
was a big
I was like,
shift.
it was like connecting like a million things at once.
Mhm.
So it probably looked like I was like
It's
zonked.
like you see the board behind
Yeah, I
where it's,
literally, I was
all of
like,
the yarn.
Yeah, Crazy Charlie with all the
Yeah,
big
totally.
yarn.
I was just like,
Me at all times.
yeah, totally. I was like, I'm into
Yeah.
this. I'm like,
Yeah. That's what
So
I
fun.
love about it. It all connects.
Wait, so I'm in that?
You're about to be.
About to be. It's about to start. But I can already see the seeds have been planted just from like,
Yeah.
watching you over the last year. Like we've already kind of seen what it's gonna
So
relate
weird.
to.
And also, like, we all have already had our progressed lunar returns. Like, that's happening. That's another concept. But basically, like, yeah, it's another thing that like prepares you for the Saturn return, like emotionally, mentally, like reconnecting with your body and your needs and what you actually value. So I feel like that's what we're all kind of experiencing right now, and that prepares you for the Saturn return to like face the actual like, okay, here's the thing that I have to do.
Wait, so why are we all three going through it and you're not?
Because I'm younger. So my Saturn is in Aries, but y'all have your Saturn.
So you gotta wait like 3 more
Pisces.
years.
Yeah.
So when you get done with yours, mine will start.
It lasts 3 years?
Typically, yeah. Ours is gonna be a little bit longer just because of
Yours
the
is
way
going
that Saturn
longer?
goes.
Wait, why is it going longer?
I think it's going, dude. I think it does go to like 2027. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I think it keeps going back into Pisces until 2027. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, because of the retrogrades.
So we just get to change for 5 years.
Pretty much. Yeah. Let me just double check here. 2027. Go.
Wayne's like, I want my money back.
No offense, but this ride kind of sucks ass.
JK, 2026. Okay, so it is only 3 years. Don't worry. No need to fear, folks.
Okay.
No
Just
need to fear. Yeah, 2026. It's not bad.
But if I come out on the other side, I'm good though.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah. You'll be.
So here's the thing, Anna, that I've been thinking about lately is
Okay.
once our Saturn return concludes, Saturn will be moving into our 12th house.
What's the
So that could be good. That could be utilized well as a moment of like respite and isolation in a good way.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm
like,
just like
Saturn
gonna
loves the
intend
12th
for it
house.
to be like that.
Yeah,
That's true.
Saturn loves the 12th house. So, you were talking about just like shutting yourself away in a cottage and just riding for a whole year. Like, for 3 years.
Yeah, you're right.
And so it's kind of
Yeah.
like a doubling down and just retreating into what you want, what you need to accomplish and do.
So I'm gonna do that after
Yeah.
after
the
this
Saturn
period is
return
done.
begins.
We're gonna like dip for just a hot second,
yeah,
but like in a good way.
in a good way. Like it'll
Yeah.
be good for you, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll also bring about maybe like a little bit of stoicism comes to mind whenever I think of
Yes.
Saturn in the 12th house. So maybe like he loves stoicism.
I can tell.
He read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius and it was awesome.
Hot diggity dog.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It can do, that's what's cool about astrology, dude. It can tell you like, so it just, it can tell you so much about the vibes that you're going to just flow with in the next few years of your life. And for me, that's really comforting. Like, tell me about that, what might be rough. I'm cool. Just tell me. I can be ready. I can
Yeah.
deal with it. I know I can deal with it. I just rather know, because for so long, like, especially growing up in like such a Christian household where it was like, don't make God angry. Just like knowing that things are flowing and I can just trust that, and that it just is what it is, and it's not because I did something bad, is like really nice.
Yeah.
So is there something specific happening every day?
Yeah.
Generally, yeah. Do you have your little
Yeah.
astral weather
Are
of the
there-
day?
are
Like
there
every
any-
single day is different.
Are there
Yeah.
any like astrological off days? Like, is there
They're
ever like,
always there.
or it's
So
like we're not really meeting it, like we're not doing something?
no. So that's what all the planets are doing today.
Okay, and that's like throughout the day.
Yeah,
That's just today. That's just right now. It'll change later today.
So
yeah.
does it end up just being like a circle, like just like a solid color?
Let me share my screen with you.
Can you track it for like 24 hours? Can you like?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do every day.
That's why we
I
choose
know-
specific times to do the
But
recording.
if it went for a whole day, would it just be a big circle, or would it take a whole year for it to do?
Well, it depends on what you're tracking. So what you're looking at is just like an imagining of the sky with the earth at the center of it.
Okay.
So it uses a geocentric perspective. So it puts the earth at the center of the solar system instead of the sun. Because the point is to observe the universe from the perspective of the earth.
Okay.
So that circle is kind of tracking the mathematical positions of each of the planets as they're going in their current rotations and the relationship that they have with the earth. So you can track it all day, and like it will change throughout the day because you're tracking the current perspective of where the horizon is right now. So that's changing every day because the sun, we're always moving. So like you can track it moment to moment, you can track it day to day, you can track it month to month or year to year, because like there's all the different cycles you can follow.
Okay.
I hope that was a
Yeah,
helpful
that makes sense.
explanation.
No, it makes sense. You're good.
I
Okay.
feel like we should pull up their charts because we still
Yeah, let me
haven't
see
done
this.
that.
Let's see it. Let's
All
see.
right.
I feel like
Okay.
Hannah is translating all of the things that I've been trying to tell Lane about his chart for like the past year, but my brain hasn't pushed.
That's okay.
Well, sometimes like there's so much jargon, I just get like overwhelmed. Like,
No, I
And it's
feel
hard to simplify it, bro. It's so much easier for me to do it when I'm stoned. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I'm just like
So much
intense listening
easier.
right now. I'm like, okay, I'm listening.
And, like,
I hear you.
it's because I'm not like immersed in it like
Yeah.
you ladies are. So like whenever you guys are talking, like you got it. You got the pathway. Where I'm like, well, and that one goes to the, and you got the, and
Yeah, then
and that, yeah.
There'll be a few moments I'm like, wait, can you go back to that? And you're already like
Yeah, yeah,
sentences
we're
ahead, and
50
I'm like,
miles down the road. It's like I missed.
Try to explain it, but sometimes it is so difficult to find a word that means the exact same thing because it is another language, you know?
Yeah,
So it's like no shit on you guys for not understanding something. 'cause
absolutely.
It is a language. It's
Mm-hmm. It is a whole language. It's a whole language. You can't argue that it doesn't exist because it does, because it's a language. So this is Lane's chart that's on the screen. So can you see my mouse when I circle around something?
yes.
Awesome. Okay, so this is your rising. The AC is the ascendant. So you have an 11-degree Taurus rising. This is the symbol for Taurus.
My moon is at 12 degrees of Taurus, by the way. So it is
Oh yeah, one of these is your charts together, actually. So I can show
sorry.
that.
What was that?
No, you're good. I just wanted to tell you that. Okay. So that's your rising. So then we go around the chart. Those are your houses. That's what these numbers represent. So the rising is your first house.
Okay.
Second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, etc., etc. They all have a different meaning. I won't go into each one of them right now. I'll just kind of dive into your individual stuff. This is your moon. At 26 degrees of Cancer, conjunct the IC. That's the angle we were talking about before, the lowest place in the sky. And then your sun is over here in Libra in the 6th house.
Wait, is that the yellow dot with the?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got
That's
it.
the
Looks like a
sun. And this is Mercury in there too, which is conjunct your Chiron. This is an asteroid called Chiron. Then this is your 7th house, Scorpio, where your Venus is. And this one is Mars. And you also have Pluto there. I should have gotten a bi-wheel with Austin and Lane's chart on it together because it's so funny.
Oh yeah.
I can still do that. I'll do that when I stop sharing my screen.
We could do like a break and
Yeah. Brick. Okay. Yeah, and then up here you have your midheaven in Capricorn, and then you have Uranus and Neptune up here. So this is just kind of how we look at like a birth chart. So this is just a snapshot of the sky, the position of all the planets at the second that you were born.
Okay.
And then we use that to make delineations about shit.
What's up? So the houses are the areas.
All right.
Right.
I feel like we need like a key. of
Yeah,
what
key would be
everything-
dope. A key would be
Okay.
of like what
dope.
everything means.
A key
Okay.
Like
would
once
be
I know
dope.
the definition of everything, it's like
Let me see if I
Okay.
can find
Yeah, if we can get a
Kira's-
picture key, this
Yeah.
is
let me
this.
see.
I'm in there, bud. I'm in there.
So I'm like, I already forgot. I'm like, what?
It's okay.
Is that
I'm
that
looking at what
24
happens.
symbols? Or maybe 36 total? Just if you the numbers.
Maybe.
Throw in a couple asteroids.
Yeah, because some people also do look at more asteroids, and then there's fixed stars that you can
Mhm.
layer on under it as well.
Yeah.
It's so complex. This is why people study this shit for like 20 years, and
And I thought intro to Latin was hard. Fuck that. God.
this is sometimes why when you ask me questions, I'm like, I don't know.
Ooh. Okay. Gorgeous. So I'm going to share something that tells you what the houses are.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the 12 houses. So this is where your Taurus rising was. The first house represents your vibe, your body, your appearance, your identity. When it's in Taurus, Taurus is things like sturdy, strong, earthy, grounded.
You literally have a bullhead forehead.
Yeah. I am like a strongly built person, so that it's a very Taurian representation. Whereas like Anna is a Capricorn rising. Capricorn is the goat. It is more nimble, quick, thin,
I'm not nimble.
a little bit bony. Well, I'm using goat things without being weird about it being a goat.
The bony thing is so true though.
Yeah.
because, like my elbows are the sharpest elbows of all time.
It's like a fucking scyther from Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay. Although I just started thinking about how you're an Aquarius rising and how one of my favorite things that people use to describe Aquarius risings is that they look like aliens. I don't know if I would necessarily say that about you, but it cracks me up.
Like,
But no, I mean,
how about my whole family though? Like, are they all Aquarius rising?
No.
Because I could pick a few.
No, I don't know what all of their risings are. I don't have their birth times.
All right, but like, it's on my mind. I can't get it out.
Yeah, so that's the first house. Lane, you have your moon in the third house in Cancer. The third house represents things like siblings, your neighborhood, communication, writing, commuting. It can involve things like witchcraft in terms of daily rituals. So it's a very ritual daily, your immediate environment. The cool thing about the houses is they all kind of flow, in my opinion, from like the basics of being a human and building on up. So the first thing is your body. The second thing is resources, what you use to feed that body to keep yourself alive. The third house is where you keep your body. Where is it? It's in your house, it's in your home, it's in your neighborhood, it's next to your siblings because that's just who you're next to. The fourth house is, okay, we have all of these things in our immediate environment. What are we rooted in? It's our home, family, land, our parentage. We start getting this understanding of, you know, if you think about growing up as a kid, this is kind of how your awareness proceeds too. After you're aware of like you know, the things that are closest to you, then it's like, oh wait, this is my family, this is my home, this is where I'm from, you know, and you'll get that understanding. And then we get into the fifth house, which is things like, I see the fifth house as creation. So once you start like having that understanding and you can engage with your environment more intentionally and like finding joy in things and creativity, and so then that leads into things like sex and art, and from sex comes children, that goes into the creativity bit. The sixth house, then it's like, then, you know, once we are entering all of these things like exploring, moving our body in the world, then as soon as you start moving that body and doing creative things, you do open the doors for like pain and accidents and bodily injuries, and then we have to move into working and labor and using our body to do things that, you know, feed back into the rest of the houses. And then, you know, it keeps going. I don't have to narrate every single one, but that's kind of how they all progress. Every single one feeds into the next one and has something there that is both a result of the previous one and is completely different from the previous one. Because, you know, in the seventh house, we have partnerships and relationships. And then in the eighth house is like, you know, from those partnerships, you can have debts and you can have inheritances and you can have money from your partner, and you can get trauma from like those being in those close relationships. So that's what's really interesting to me about the house system, is that it really does invoke like the human experience.
Did you have a
Okay.
question?
No, is okay. So let me make sure that I'm not cross-threaded here.
Mhm.
Right? Okay, so the houses are the setting,
Yes.
Yes.
and the planets are the actors.
Yes.
And then the aspects
Yeah.
are their motivations.
Their
The way
conversations.
Their
the conversations, yeah. The
Yeah.
dialogue.
Big brain.
Wait, say that again. It
Yeah.
was
The
house
houses
is the mother.
No, the houses
Cool,
are
yeah.
the setting.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
It's the setting. It's where the scene is happening. It's
Yeah.
where what topic is being discussed in the scene, where it's happening.
Okay.
The planets are the actors. They're the ones who determine like how they go about playing that part
Okay,
in that
yeah.
scene. And then the aspects are the conversations that those actors are having with one another from different perspectives in the scene.
Anna has tried to explain that to me like 80 times, and only till like now I'm like,
I see it now.
And then the zodiac sign that the planet is in is the role, and like
so wait, that's not the aspect?
No, the zodiac
Aspect is
sign is more like it's the vibe. It's like, is this would you say it's like the topic?
Wait, what did you say at the beginning? Sorry.
The vibe. It's either the vibe or the topic, because like Saturn in Aquarius having a conversation with Mars in Taurus is very different than Saturn in Pisces having a conversation with Mars in like Gemini. It's still a square, but it's like it's about different things.
Yeah.
They're coming at it from a different perspective. It's like they have certain tools available to them in each sign in order to communicate what they want. And they have to abide by the rules of that sign in order to do so.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, how comfortable are they in it? How much do they have supporting them and being able to do that role effectively?
Yeah, it would be like, so imagine Saturn as a lawyer. Saturn is going to do much better in the courtroom of Capricorn in communicating what they want than they're going to in the water sign of Cancer, where they don't have the rules, they don't have the structure, they just have this like immense sense of emotion and intuition. Like it's going to be much more, I don't know, Saturn and Cancer I haven't thought about in a while. That's a cool one though. That would be like very, very emotionally intense. Whereas in the courtroom they're much more comfortable. So
yeah, it's almost like the like caseworkers, you know, or at least that would come to mind to me for something that would be
interesting.
Like
yeah. Any questions? I feel like we're in school.
taking it all in.
I feel
Gorgeous.
so odd without a headset on.
You're
So weird.
Oh,
exposed.
people can see your sick fade.
Sick face.
You're sick fade, bruh. It's pretty
Fade,
sick.
My
bruh.
big ears. Yeah.
I can see your dimple.
Well, I don't think the headset didn't like it was
Cover the dimple.
the headset is a big headset, but it's not like
That big.
No, it's the where your eye is drawn away, so they don't look at the dimple as much because the headset is more focused on.
don't look.
Don't look at my dimple, y'all.
Dimple.
Demolish the dimple.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. Well, let me throw up Austin's chart. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah. Okay. So then this is Austin's chart.
Oh my god, it's a bird's nest and not the upper level.
Yep, it sure is. As we can see, folks, Austin has most of his planets up here in Scorpio. So we do have that.
Wait,
Have you
No.
ever just like seen it?
Their Venuses are at the exact same degree in Scorpio.
Did I put their charts together? I think I did. But okay, so yeah.
which one's Scorpio?
Huh?
The
This one, the blue
tail.
one. The one that has the M with the arrow.
Okay, what's the arrow, but it has the
This one, the red one,
yeah, that one.
Mhm.
that's Sagittarius.
What's
He has
the
a
one-
Sagittarius moon.
What's the yeah, huh?
Capricorn.
Okay, see now that's alarming. Because that looks like a V and a G and an O, which would lead me to Virgo, but it's not.
I will say this particular glyph, I'm not a huge fan of it. It looks really funky.
Yeah.
It typically looks like an N and then like it has like a little swish and it goes under it.
It looks
Or it's the square root.
Virgo
bracket.
is this one. It I don't know why, but this one is Virgo. It's the brown one. So here, I'll just go through the signs real quick, I guess. This one that looks like a little ram is Aries. Then we have Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And those are the signs. Feels like the alphabet song.
The symbols are throwing me off, but carry on.
Yeah, the symbols are a little funky, but yeah, so Austin has his Venus up in Scorpio, as well as Sun and North Node conjunct Jupiter, and then Pluto conjunct the midheaven. So that's a lot. Then he has the moon in Sagittarius, rising in Aquarius. Ruler is Saturn in Pisces, which is exactly sextile my moon.
What does that mean?
It just means we have a immediate like Saturn moon relationship. So
Okay.
he acts as a boundary for my emotions. He acts as like a filter for them. But like you have to choose to do that. It's not like something that you'll just do. It's something that you can do, but you have to like want to do it in order to do it.
I know. That's so true. It's such a complex thing.
I know. No, because he's very good at like controlling my, if I have any like wandering emotions, not wandering emotions, but just like I'm an emotional individual. I mean, I have so much Cancer shit going on. And that sometimes I'm bad at like filtering it, but you are a very good filter for it. And you can like direct my emotions into words in a way that I can't always do by myself. So that's how Synastry works. So then I'm just talking about how this Saturn placement of his works with my Taurus moon placement that you can't see it's here, but I know that it's here because that's where it is in my chart. And that's what Synastry is when we look at how the planets talk to each other in different people's charts and not just in their own chart.
Yeah, it's like what I talk about whenever I talk about our charts interacting with each other. That's
Okay.
I'm talking about synastry.
Yeah, so to show you synastry, let me see. That's Anna. This is Anna and Lane, so we can use this if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for example, let's see. Let me get my bearings. So Anna's chart's on the inside and
One of
Lane's is on
my
the outside. There you
favorite
go.
parts of your synastry is that his moon is in my 7th house. So it feels very homey for me to be able to be in interaction with him. Like whenever we instantly upon meeting him, it was a very comfortable experience.
Yeah, no. See, but I feel all that. So I'm like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and I can show you how it works in our chart too. And then here's
This is so crazy.
and then this too then, so like your moon, Anna, is in his first house. So, and that's how your moon works in my house as well. But so that gives an immediate feeling of like that person feeling like home to you.
Yeah, or like feeling like you're seen by that person. I think it's really big deal.
Feeling seen, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You guys have a lot of angular synastry, so like you have like specific hits on the angles, which is really cool. Like your moon and his rising are like really close. The moon being in the 7th house,
so
Venus being on the midheaven there. That's really strong. The sun like close to the midheaven here. There's a lot of like interactions. You can see how in between the two charts, there's a lot of places where there's like matchups.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for when we're looking in synastry, seeing what matches up with each other.
Yeah, and for us, it's felt like since we met, we've just been intrinsically connected to each other.
Yeah.
It's like we haven't been able to get away from each other, because we just keep coming back. So it is that, like magnetic feeling almost, having so many things interacting with each other in our charts.
And you guys have strong angular synastry too, because you have all of your angles together. See how it says AC and MC, IC, AC, DC, IC. You'll have all of those letters together. That's very strong. Austin and I similarly. Let me see if I can. Ooh, where's my thingy? There it is. Here we go. So then this is me and Austin. So you can see Austin's all of that Scorpio stuff falls into my 7th house, and we have the MC and the DC like conjunct by a degree.
Wow.
Same thing for our IC and DC, same thing for our AC and IC, like they're all conjunct by a degree. Yeah.
They're all angular.
Yeah, our entire life is just angular to each other.
Does it matter which is which?
I think it just provides a different interaction.
Yeah.
But it's also just like, it's just a highlight point of your chart.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It is kind of wild how they're all like within a degree.
Yeah.
Within a degree.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So with like people that don't really have very much connection with each other, you wouldn't see as much synastry.
Like theirs would be,
their letters would be in different places in the chart completely. Yeah.
wow.
So that's kind of like what we're talking about. Like we experience life from similar perspectives. So like your first house, Austin, is my 10th house. So then if we go to here, your first house of your body, your vibe, appearance, identity is my 10th house of my public image, professional titles, career, visibility. And we are literally trying to like
it's fucking
work
weird.
together and be like,
but in the best way. Yeah,
exactly,
so
be seen together. If we go to mine too.
And then Lane's son is in my 10th house. So
yeah,
he makes me kind of he's helped me identify like how to be myself in more public spaces, right?
Yeah. And his Venus is conjunct your midheaven, so it's like you are seen as partners and you're meant to be seen as partners.
Yep.
Which I think is cool. Yeah. There's a lot of really cool like angular synastry that we have. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Wait,
Isn't
can
that
I
wild?
to y'all's chart real quick?
To whose?
To y'all's.
Yeah.
Got something.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you looking?
I think you also have like your nodes are also both in the same places. So you guys are experiencing like your nodal reversals at the same time.
Yeah. Yep. So my north node is at 1 degree of Scorpio. Yours, Austin, is conjunct the sun. So like, not to be dramatic, but these eclipses that are going on right now are definitely going to be bigger for you, because whenever somebody has a luminary in the same sign as a node, that means that you were born during, oh my God, I'm saying this as I also have a luminary in a sign with a node.
And Wayne does too, because he
Exactly.
has his conjunct in the north node.
Yes. So, wow. Yeah. We all have nodal luminary synastry, which means we were all born during eclipse season. So we're all eclipse babies. Or actually, no, not necessarily
so
all.
sweet. I'm
That's just
not.
when the sun's in the same sign. That's not when the moon is. My apologies.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so these eclipses have been happening where I'm talking about them
Mhm.
and I tell you that they're coming up, and then something like really
Mhm.
big in life kind of happens around the same moment.
Yeah, you're an eclipse baby too, Lane. Wait, that's so interesting because I spoke too soon. I'm not an eclipse baby because it's when the sun is in the same sign as the north node. So my apologies. But both of them are. They're both eclipse babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So having Lane not so much right now, because I mean eclipses will generally affect you more, but like this specific cycle with the eclipses happening in Taurus and Scorpio are pretty big for us. You know what we did the first eclipse this year?
Tell me.
We got it. We started that band. Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Did you plan for
Exactly.
that?
No, they approached us.
Yeah.
Things happen. So that's what eclipses do. Eclipses like push forward motion, like pushes people into action. Things just happen, and like it's not necessarily things you planned for. It's just like shit happens when it happens, and it's like, oh, okay, all right, that all right.
That's what's happening.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have all of that nodal stuff going on right now. I also have my moon here. We have kind of like a full moon thing going on because Austin's sun's in Scorpio and my moon's in Taurus, but like that kind of angular synastry, having the first house, seventh house stuff, it gives you the necessary push pull to balance each other out.
Do you want to talk about your theory that you were going over the other day about the moon cycles and partners?
Oh, I can touch on that. Sure. Okay. So let me put up just like, I'll use my chart as an example. Okay. So you guys are familiar with the moon cycles. Yeah.
Yes, I think.
So it goes from new moon to quarter moon to full moon to last quarter moon to new moon, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody has a moon phase in their chart. You can see the sun's here and the moon's here. The moon would need to be conjunct the sun down here for it to be a new moon. So we can know by this like kind of 90-degree angle thing we got going on that this was a last quarter moon. So in my chart, my moon phase is a last quarter moon. Let me grab Austin's chart. So up here we have the sun and then we have the moon here. We know that the moon is traveling in this direction, in a counterclockwise direction. So we know that it is separating from the sun, which means that it is waxing, that it's growing. So it's going towards a first quarter moon. So now we know that I am a waning moon. I'm moving towards a new moon. Austin is a waxing moon going towards a full moon. It is my theory that relationships that gravitate towards one another have opposite moon phases. So one person who's kind of like on the reflective end of things, who is kind of picking up the last pieces, figuring out like what's the word that we were using when we were describing Aquarius? How to make things more efficient, how to wrap things up. And the other person is more of the generating, the starting, the idea maker, and the other person, so it like balances each other out in a way. And I noticed that with both our relationship and with your guys's. So let
Yeah.
me see. Yeah, so in Anna's chart, she's the waxing moon. So she's past the first quarter and moving towards the full moon. And then Lane is similar, exactly like me, is the last quarter moon. So the kind of wrapping things up, getting things together at the, yeah. I'm not going to explain it very well right now. I feel that, but that's the general idea. I think that's
Yeah. Like our moons are just kind of
balance each other out.
yeah. And like
Mhm.
our emotions kind of are balancing for each other. And like the way that everybody describes us from that like know us in person and everything, they just talk about how much we balance each other out. Like we are
Mhm.
just perfectly the opposite of each other.
And look at this. You can see that exactly. You know why? Because we have the sun in Libra up here for Lane, and then your moon's on the opposite side down here in Taurus, both Venusian ruled, but kind of from different perspectives. And then here, your moon and your sun are also in opposites, like literally are opposite to each other. So you do have that perfect, like polarizing balance.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Good
How you
job,
can see
dude.
that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're like the
Mhm.
perfect match, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then Austin and I have a bit more of a like square like relationship. Like, I mean, our suns are trying each other here, so they're both in water signs. But definitely different, ruled by different energies. Like I'm more moon ruled. So one thing that's really interesting for me is we are still like very interesting halves to a whole, because I'm ruled by Venus with this moon here. And then all of my Cancer stuff is ruled by the moon, which answers back to Venus. And then my other planets answer to Jupiter, which is in domicile in Sagittarius. So I'm ruled by planets that would be considered the benefics, Venus, Jupiter, and then there's just the moon is more of a feminine energy. And that's a loaded word, but generally speaking. And then Austin has all of the Scorpio energy, which is ruled by Mars. And then he's a Aquarius rising ruled by Saturn. And then his other planet, Mars, which rules everything in Scorpio, is ruled by the sun. So he is ruled by the opposite luminary, as well as both of the malefics, which are Saturn and Mars. So we are very much a balance of we're very much a balance between those two different energies, which I think is super interesting, because then in the chart, they still like trine each other and talk to each other in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boom.
That is really cool.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
It's a lot of information to unpack, dude.
Oh yeah. This has been the last few years of just like,
Why is one of the parabolas up like this and one of them is like that? Like the
Yeah.
same sign.
I'll show you.
yeah.
I'll go back and show you.
You guys all have different rising signs.
That's what that
So-
means?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the layout of your chart will be different.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you superimpose them, you choose one chart that is going to take the layout of the houses from their natal placements, and then you overlay someone else's chart into that.
Yeah. So in this chart, for example, it starts in Taurus because I'm on the inner chart. My ascendant is Taurus, and it shows how my chart is here on the inside. The chart, all of our charts start off with like, here's the Capricorn rising. So it starts with Capricorn first house and lays everything out from there. There could be many, that's the thing about astrology, and that's why the rising is important. There could be how many millions of babies born on this day, but depending on what time they were born and where the horizon was at, this rising time and degree will be different for every minute of every day.
Yep.
So we have Anna, that's the Capricorn rising. We have Austin, that's the Aquarius rising, and then both you, or this is me, and then this is Lane. We're both Taurus risings. So yeah.
It's rising and descending. Those are the two. Those are the two names for it. Okay, so the this with the circles here is your descending, and the one like this is your ascending.
What? Oh, are you talking about the nodes?
I'm talking about Taurus 1 degree.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
the south node.
go completely
Oh,
across.
this
that.
thing.
Yeah. okay,
Yeah.
Oh, those are the nodes.
That's showing where an eclipse is going to occur.
So
That's just the ecliptic of the moon. That's the
So
north
is this supposed to be
node.
like a magnetic horseshoe type thing?
Uh-huh.
And so like the pole's going this way means the south node?
So this one here,
Yeah.
this is the south node.
So it's pointing down.
Yes,
yeah.
this one
And
is
the
south.
magnetic ends are going are going magnetic north.
Sure. Yes.
Okay,
And then this one
all
is
right,
the north
we're in
node.
there, baby. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's also just going to be different depending on the year
Oh.
and time of year
Okay.
and stuff.
Wait,
Okay.
we're on you. So
But this is
your
me.
north. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Your north node is in Scorpio.
Yeah.
Ah,
And so
we
is
go.
yours.
so was mine.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Scorpio is my 7th house of partners and relationships. So all of your shit falls into my 7th house.
So bizarre in the best way.
It's so bizarre.
I'm like,
Why are we together, man?
but it's just like it makes
That's
sense.
why, bitch.
Like you can kind of connect it all.
Yeah, dude. And then like, yeah, your like north node sun conjunction is trine my Venus loosely, but actually it's 3 degrees. It's not that far. Yeah. Oh, I guess my Venus is at 18. I always think my Venus is at 17 and it's flip-flopped. Yep.
So is it possible to have everything in one line? Like just straight up and down?
Like to have everything here and then everything down here.
Yeah, like just
Yeah, you probably could. There's probably somebody who has that. There was probably a time. I mean, hold on. Let me
you
see if
get,
I
like,
can find a
really big
time.
pile up, then you could have pretty much everything in one house, and then maybe the moon directly opposite.
so like I'm
So
thinking like the movie Hercules here, like where all the planets line up. Like, is that possible? Like, is that
Oh,
Yeah, that's what conjunctions are. Whenever we're talking about
Yeah.
things being conjunct, it means that
But
they're
can
like,
everything conjunct
lined
at
up.
once?
in the over the summer, all of you could have gone outside and seen all 5 of the planets like in a line. Like they all were in a line this summer. Like they are pretty much every year, but yeah.
that's why, like, so in my chart, when I have all of those planets in one single house, they're all lined up in the same line in the sky. That's why they're called stelliums.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you have all of those conjunctions in one.
Yeah. So in my
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So in let me see if I can get
So
whoa, I can get multiple charts.
Is
That's a
a
lot.
fantastic example.
Yeah. So all of
Yes.
these planets were literally all in the same place in the sky when he was born.
Yeah.
And there had just been an eclipse in Scorpio, and now the moon's in Sagittarius.
So had Austin been born like a day earlier or 2, then he would have
The moon
also
would have been
had
over
his
here.
there.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again.
If you had born like a day or 2 earlier, then your moon would have been in Scorpio too. Thank God it wasn't. Oh my God. That would have been like too much. Well, I don't know. I've gotten this far with this much Scorpio. Oh my God. You know what's funny? I was looking back and I have a history with Aquarius actually.
Really?
Isn't that weird? I guess it's the 10th. It's angular.
Well, I mean, that's funny. Lane Libra
Did you want to keep looking
in my 10th house.
Which means like wait, so if I'm a scale, I'm trying to achieve balance.
Libra.
No, I mean, isn't that like my thing? Like, isn't my
Libra
thing?
are like social peacekeepers, but
Yeah,
also like
chill.
yeah.
They also tend to be, they get stereotyped as like the people pleaser types where
Mhm.
That fits, yeah.
you
that
just
fits.
kind of want to make other people happy.
Yeah.
And you want
Yeah.
everything to be just like, you want to achieve that like you want to achieve the Venusian in ways of peacekeeping and connection and like keeping people.
Wait, why is it Venusian but I'm Libra?
Because
Venus rules Libra. So each planet
What?
oh yeah, all the planets rule a certain
God is
sign.
a woman? With my area? Oh my God.
Oh, and I have news for you, buddy. You're also ruled by Venus because you're a Taurus rising. So basically, Venus is in charge of your life, bro.
Taurus.
Welcome to the
Libra are
club.
Venus signs. That's why I say like the Venusian for you.
Wow.
Austin it looks like he's taken out right now. He's like, hold on.
I'm just like, I'm a feeler, so I feel all that. So I'm like, I'm exhausted. Like, but I was like hit by a wave.
That is so
That
funny.
is
So Libra and Taurus are ruled by Venus.
Yes. The moon rules Cancer, so that's why having a Cancer moon is like a big deal, because that's the moon's house, and the moon is there at home in Cancer.
But the moon is feminine and Venus is feminine.
Well, it depends on what you mean by feminine. You know what I mean? I feel like feminine is a very loaded gendered term that like it's more about an energy. I think the energy of Venus and the moon is more geared towards intuition and value rather than action or power. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So I would say that people who have Venusian.
So are we just like naturally tense?
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's just like,
we.
it's like, I don't know. I feel like me and his chart are similar,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just the way we like feel. Like
I
like
didn't get their charts together, and that's what I wanted to do. Hold
I
on,
don't
let's see
know.
if I downloaded it.
like you keep tying things that I'm like, I feel naturally. So I'm like,
Well, yeah,
I'm like, oh, that piece is right. I'm like, but
because this is
exactly
we're reading your
right.
chart.
So it's like so spot on specific. And so I'm like,
I know. Oh, here I did get it. I
think
did
it's
get it.
helpful for you to think of like a yin yang energy
Yes.
maybe instead, where it's kind of like the, like how we were talking about the other day when we were getting like Reiki done and stuff.
Mhm.
They were talking about the yin yang. Maybe think about it like that.
I was talking about yin yang.
like,
Yin yang, what?
Never mind.
I wasn't. I was talking about fish. Fish. Fish.
Fish.
Fish.
No, but just like with the feminine stuff. So like people who are Venusian, or
This is like
lunar,
mine.
you're this is Austin's first astrology reading formally. Like I kind of like don't often read his chart to him
because it's so intense.
I know.
I know, but it's like, yeah, you're right. I'm like,
This is right.
ain't doubting that.
We did it, folks. We converted one. Yeah, Venusian energy, it's more, you keep interrupting me. That's hilarious.
Sorry. Audible.
Dang, but you know what? Let me just pull up
Venusian.
Austin and Venusian. Let me pull up Austin and Lane's charts together because I can use this. I know. It's all good. Here we go. Okay, so this is Austin and Lane's charts together. So you guys also have
There's some overlap in there.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
kind of Anna and I were talking about. So her and my charts have a lot of interesting synastry. We both have Taurus moons. So we both have
It's crazy.
yeah, we both have Taurus moons. I have the
funny.
Cancer placement similar to Lane. So like both of you guys have qualities of each other and also of us because like we're all weird mixes of each other.
Yeah. It's really
Mhm.
freaking weird.
Like
That's
you guys
kinda
have
wild.
Yeah.
No, it totally is. Like,
So that's why we thought that you two would get along together really well.
Wait, so like our Plutos are really close.
Yep.
Yeah, that's natural. Well, actually your Austin's Pluto is conjunct your Mars because you both have 27 degrees there. And then
it's
his
like-
Pluto and his MC and your Pluto are very close.
Yeah, and the conjunctions that are exact by degree, like they have the same degree in the same sign, that's pretty rare. It's
Look
Yeah,
at
so like
how
Venus-
y'all both have Venus at 8 degrees of Scorpio.
yeah.
LOL. Wow.
And look how close our it's at 22 degrees, very top. Like go.
Oh yeah, your Neptunes. Yeah, those
Mhm.
are slower moving.
Those are
Well,
like
there's one. His blah, blah, blah. Austin's Uranus and your Neptune is what's exactly conjunct.
Yeah.
Yep, and those are slower moving. So they do. A lot of people that generation will have that.
what
But-
does that mean? Like,
Well, that's what synastry readings are. So what does this mean? I mean, so the fact that you guys have Venus in the same place, yeah, it's in a different house for both of you, but like Venus and Scorpio, that's what we were talking about earlier with you'll experience like your values are very intense and you take them very seriously and they have very deep meaning to you. And for that reason, when you care about something, you most likely will care about it very deeply to a point where it may even like change you as a person, not in a bad way necessarily, but it has the potential to do that.
Mhm.
And since Lane is ruled by that planet, like for you, Lane, that will probably have a little bit more of a personal, like deep
Yeah,
manifestation for you. Like
I
that'll
die
be
on
more of a
those
part
hills
of
a
your
lot.
inherent character.
I die on those hills a lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely like you can almost see where your ruling planet is. Sometimes that area of life might feel almost like it rules your life,
mhm.
the house that the ruling planet is in.
Yeah, and for you that's the 7th house of relationships, Lane.
Okay.
But for Austin, his rising is in Aquarius up in, which is what your midheaven's actually in Capricorn. But yeah, and then he's ruled by Saturn and Pisces in the 2nd house. So for him, it's more about like nailing down your values and using them to make a change. Yeah.
And like the resources that you need to be taken care of is
Yeah, resources are a big one.
like food. I
Yeah.
also like to think of food as the 2nd house.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah, because it's the things that fuel your body in the 1st house. Yeah.
Whoa.
I love astrology because all of the like houses, they all feed into each other. It shows how everything is connected and everything like needs each other to exist.
Yep.
Everything's woven together.
So then they also have Austin's Mercury is very close to Lane's North Node and his Sun.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Austin's 25-degree Libra, and then the 26-degree North Node there. So
sometimes the nodal synastry can be considered as like past life synastry in some parts of astrology.
We was bros. We was homies back in the day.
No
Yo.
That's so dope.
yeah, that's interesting. It's like, yeah.
So that's kind of one of the ways you can think about it, or you can think about it like this person will likely be pretty integral in your life.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, I think having like Lane's Sun there too. Like, so first of all, both of y'all are similar to each other because you both have North Node conjunct the Sun. So when people, even if they don't have that like that aspect in relationship with each other, so your North Node and Sun can't see his North Node and Sun because they're next to each other in signs. It's like how you wouldn't be able to see your next door neighbor's house the way you would be able to see the people across the street. But since you both have that same signature, like you both have that like that same energy signature, even though they're in different signs. So that's very similar about you. And then his Sun and North Node conjunct your Mercury is like I feel like Lane probably
he gives you words for
yes
like a lot of the things that you think.
A lot of the things that are already happening in your brain, like Lane is just able to like say them and be them.
Yeah.
But you relate to that and you're like, I was already thinking that.
Yeah. It's
you guys are like on the
wild.
same wavelength,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I was already internalizing the emotion before even like once he said it, I was like,
that was it.
totally right.
Yeah.
It's like
that was it. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
level
Yep.
up. All right. It's like
That's
building block.
Yeah.
That's
So that's how
funny.
synastry works, yo. Ooh.
I'm blown.
It's cool. Like I didn't know that.
So there is a theory that, well, not a theory, but like there's a teaching, I forget who it is, but that the ruler of your 7th house's placement can show you where you met your partner or where you will meet your
Yes.
partner. Let
No,
me go
I
into
thought
screen.
about this before. Yeah, because it's really funny how Lane and I met. Yeah.
So
Which way? Because I met you when you were a little bitty kid, and you wouldn't even say hi to me.
oh my God. So for me, my 7th house is Scorpio, and the ruler of my 7th house is Virgo, and it's in my 5th house. And 5th house is like creativity, art, music stuff, and we met in a band.
Yeah. Fucking perfect.
Yeah, and then his ruler, let me see, is Leo in his 10th house. The ruler of his 7th house is the sun in his 10th house. So it's like that's his career. That's always what he's wanted his career to be. So he met me through pursuing his career.
Holy shit. So what is
Yeah.
ours then?
Okay, can you pull up our Bible?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my ruler of my 7th house is the moon in my 5th house. So Hannah and I both have that in common. That you guys can discuss activities, and we started out as a sexual relationship, you know.
And that's the 5th house.
That's the 5th house.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And then so your 7th house is Scorpio,
Mm-hmm.
right? And your ruler of the 7th house is in the 7th house. And so relationships, partnerships, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And here we are. We met through, wait, hold on. We met through the fact that I was dating one of his friends, and he told him, bro, if you don't like get serious with her by the end of the summer, like I'm coming in, I'm swooping in, man.
You
Like,
met her through a friend, someone who you already had an established relationship through.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you let me through that.
Isn't that interesting?
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That shit checks out.
That's freaking nuts.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So that's Synastry, folks.
There you go.
That's how it works. Brought to you live from us and our partners. Of how many years?
8.
Going on 8. We're 7.
Yep. Yeah, it was the
This is
summer.
2014.
Yeah, it was the summer that I
Okay.
graduated, which was 2014. Yeah.
We were 2015.
That is
Wow.
wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which like we've been on and off because we had a lot of stuff to figure out, work through, grow up, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely been like we've been in each other's sphere of life for 8 years.
Yeah.
Solidly.
Yeah.
Because once
That's
I met him,
awesome.
like he never completely went out of my life, you know.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Yep.
That's a vibe. Welcome.
Wow. That's freaking nuts though. Like
Isn't that wild?
the relations that all those things have, that's freaking cool. That's really
Yeah. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
It's neat.
This is why I look like Charlie with all the yarn. Whenever I try to explain astrology to you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I feel
It's
like.
going to oppose Saturn.
Like, I
Every
feel
time.
like she'll be watching something in the living room and I'll walk out and I'm like,
When you have the astrology podcast on and it's just like, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I promise you. I
Like,
want
I'm
to
gonna
actually listen to that with you next month because the retrospectives they've been doing, like from the month prior, they like go over world and like national
Yeah.
events and how it correlated with the astrology of the month.
It's helpful.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Listen to
that
that
would-
next
that's,
time.
that's really freaking cool.
It's really
Yeah.
Wow. Well, dang.
cool. Dang.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks for going through all of that.
Thanks for teaching us. I
The
feel
ramblings.
so much.
That was
Now I know
cool.
that me and Austin in a past life are homies.
Oh, you just look mind blown.
It is, but it's like it's a million thing.
It's-
It's so much. But like I get it
Mhm.
all in the same time.
An Aquarius rising, folks.
That's really cool.
That is-
Very
Nice.
exciting.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
yeah, I'm just blown away.
Now I feel like I have to understand more. Like now I feel like whenever you tell me, I'm like, okay, now Now I'm there.
Yeah.
No, I'm there. Yeah.
Reply now.
Yeah.
We might start a dialogue instead of a monologue now. Might.
That's what we're here for.
It's okay,
Dialogues
just
all the
keep
way.
monologuing.
He just keeps monologue.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Well, I guess that's where we'll end the recording for today, folks, because that feels like a really nice wrapping a bow on things.
Cool.
Thanks to our guests Austin and Lane. Y'all are, required to be in our lives, but thank you for agreeing to be on the podcast. Where can they find us, friend?
You can find us at Primordial Threads on Twitter, and you can find me at Sappy Saturnian.
I'm at Aluna Astrology. Austin, Lane, do you guys want to share anywhere where the folks can find you? You can be anonymous if you want. It doesn't matter.
I'll be anonymous.
Yeah.
Anonymous.
I'm
Oh,
lurking in the
anonymous
shadows.
guys.
I think so.
The Scorpio placements are like, no.
I'll lurk in the shadows.
We weren't prepared, so they
Like- The promos
Suck it
aren't up
out.
yet.
Yeah. We'll give you it in a little bit.
Okay, we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
All right.
Wasn't in the itinerary.
All right. Bye.
See you guys.
Oh, are you-